Hey, what is up everybody? Sean here, and today we're gonna be talking about how to quickly build up our credit score utilizing credit cards so that we can quickly begin leveraging our money and building wealth and financial freedom for ourselves. I'm gonna talk specifically about how our credit score is determined, what you can do to start building your credit if you're starting from zero or if you have bad credit. And then from there, we're gonna talk about why this is so important in terms of leverage and building wealth for yourself. Now, make sure you stick towards the end too, because I'm also gonna be sharing some of the tips and common misconceptions about credit cards and building your credit and what goes into it and what doesn't. Now, as we get started here, make sure you smash that like button. And if you can, also hit the subscribe button, little notification bell. For those of you who do not know, anytime that you like, comment, or subscribe on a video, it basically signals the YouTube algorithm that this video or this content is good or it could be useful for other people. But let's dive into this. Now, if you're like me, once I started adulting, one of the things I did was avoided credit cards like the plague. And that was because when I was growing up, I'd hear all these horror stories about people getting into massive credit card debt over time. We're talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars, never being able to pay it off, eventually filing bankruptcy, and just seeming like their life was doomed because of a piece of plastic. In addition to that, there were finance guys like Dave Ramsey who were always stating in their books, avoid credit cards, never go into debt. Debt is terrible. And so naturally I said, okay, I'm gonna pay for everything in cash. I'm gonna be financially responsible. The thing I didn't realize though, until I started getting into my own investing career and buying real estate, is that your credit is so important. Your credit score is simply an indicator for lenders and banks on how likely you are to pay back that loan. Your credit score is simply a number system. So think of it like a scale, and it goes from 300 to 850. So someone who has a very low credit score typically means that they may not have a good ability to pay back their loan. For someone who has a really high credit score, that means that they will have a very high likelihood of paying the loan or the money that they borrow. Now, of course, you want the highest score possible, but anything over 740 basically is going to give you the greatest loan in terms available. It can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars on things like your home purchase and your car loan. Now, while there's all different types of credit scores, depending on what kind of thing you're trying to go after, what we're gonna be talking about today is kind of your very generalized FICO score. So while no one knows the exact formula that FICO uses to determine your score, overall, we have a really good idea of what it is broken down into. And it essentially consists of this. The very first component is your credit payment history. And this accounts for around 35% of your overall score. So it's pretty big. It's a calculation of how many on-time payments you've had, as well as how many missed payments you had. So every single time you make a payment on time, it's going to positively increase your overall credit score. And for every late payment that you have, it's going to negatively affect your credit score. So definitely make sure that if you have credit cards or you have monthly payments, make sure that you're paying those things on time. Now, the second component is your credit utilization rate, and that's somewhere around 30% of your overall credit score. So once again, a really big factor into your score. So now your credit utilization is simply a really fancy word for how much money you're using of your total available credit. So let me give you an example. Let's say you opened up one credit card and you had a $10,000 available limit. Well, that essentially is a 20% utilization rate. The lower the utilization rate, the higher your score. And the higher your utilization rate, the lower your credit score. So it's gonna be very, very important that you use a very small percentage of your credit cards. Now, while there's a lot of back and forth on exactly how much you should use to optimize your score, most experts agree that you should never use more than 30% of your overall available limit. And according to most statistics, the average credit score of 800 or above has a utilization rate of 11.5%. The third component is going to be the length of credit history, and this is around 15% of your overall score. So your length of payment history is basically how long your accounts have been open. So if you have a credit card that's only 6 months old, it's not going to be as beneficial as a card that is maybe, let's say, 10 years older. So the key with this is to make sure you start opening up accounts and make sure you're making those on-time payments. And the longer you continue to do that, the higher your credit score will continue to increase over time. The fourth one is the various types of accounts that you have open, and this is around 10% of your overall credit score. The thing you want to know about this is you want to have a lot of mixed type of accounts. So that could be like credit cards, car payments, installment plans, retail cards. Different types of loans and different types of credits will help boost your overall credit score, because once again, it's showing the borrowers in the bank that you do a really good job of keeping up on your payments and not getting yourself into trouble. Now, the very last thing is recent credit activity, and that accounts for around 10% of your overall credit score. Every single time you make an inquiry on a type of credit, whether it be a home loan, a car loan, credit card, any type of loan or borrowing of money, your profile will essentially have an inquiry on it. Now, the more frequent the inquiries, the lower your credit score will go down. The less frequent, the higher your credit score will go. But keep in mind, this is a very, very small portion, and also it's very temporary. So if you inquire to open up about a credit card, yes, your score will go down temporarily, but within 4 to 6 months, it should be back to where it was before, maybe even higher, because now you have an even better utilization rate. Okay, so now that we know how your credit is determined, let's talk about how we can quickly begin building our credit utilizing credit cards so that we can move on to leveraging our money and building wealth for ourselves. So if you're starting from scratch and don't have any credit at all, or if you have really terrible credit, I would recommend going to the bank and starting off with getting a secured credit card. Now, a secured credit card usually is a very low balance credit card, usually around the lines of like $300 to $500. And the whole concept of this is that you go to the bank, you're going to give them some money. So you would give them that $300 to $500 up front, and in exchange, they would give you a card with a loan balance of $300 to $500. Now, if you fail to pay your balance, they will use the deposit that you put down and will make the payment for you. So after you've had your secured credit card for about 4 to 6 months, my next suggestion would be to go back to the bank and open up an unsecured credit card. And this is going to be more of your standard credit card that you would typically apply for, like your Chase Freedom card or your Capital One card or your Discover card. Now, after you've had your unsecured card for a little while, the next thing I would do is start to open up a charge card. Now, the reason why charge cards are such an effective way of building up your credit pretty quickly is because the limit on your card does not show up on your credit report. This is really important because if you do use your credit card quite a bit, your utilization rate's not going to affect it, meaning that if you happen to use a greater portion of your credit card, you're not going to have a high utilization rate. And from there, if you want to get more advanced, you can start opening up more credit cards that have point systems to them. Now, there are thousands of different types of credit cards that give you reward points, that give you travel points or hotel points, all types of points. So you can get very creative, find things that you're really into. And I can guarantee you that there's probably a credit card that gives you reward points based on the things of your interest. So before we dive into the leverage portion of how we can utilize this to begin building wealth for ourselves, let's talk about a few tips and myths or misconceptions behind credit cards and your credit score. So let's start with the tips. One of the very first tips I have for people who are getting into credit cards is only use your credit cards for really small purchases and for things that you already are going to buy with cash. The second tip that I have is make sure that you put your credit cards in an automatic payment plan. That way you don't forget to make a payment, hurting your credit score. So the third tip that I have is to never close out a credit card. This can really have a negative effect on your score because if you go back to how your score is calculated, if you close out an account that has a lot of years of history behind it, this will actually have an adverse effect on your credit score. If you are wanting to avoid the temptation of spending money on a credit card, what I would suggest is locking that credit card away somewhere that's harder to get to, or you could even cut up your credit card and just not use it. Okay, so let's talk about some of the most common myths and misconceptions regarding credit cards and your credit score. So the very first one is that it's bad to have too many credit cards. This is actually far from the truth. And in fact, the opposite is true. It's actually great to have a lot of credit cards. And that is because over time, the more credit cards you have and the more available credit that you have, typically the lower the utilization rate. So let me explain. Let's say you just had one credit card and it had a $10,000 utilization rate. And let's say on average that you usually have $2,000 to $3,000 used up on your credit card. Well, that would give you around a 20 to 30% utilization rate. Let's say you actually had like 10 of those credit cards giving you $100,000 in total available credit, but yet you still only use around $2,000 to $3,000 a month in your available credit. Well, that would only be a 2 to 3% utilization rate, further helping your credit score improve. The next common myth or misconception is that checking your credit frequently will hurt your score. Checking your credit does not hurt your score whatsoever. And in fact, there's a lot of wonderful free tools out there so you can check to see what your credit score is. Things like Credit Karma. A lot of credit cards nowadays also give you a monthly credit statement. In addition, some banks even allow you to check your credit score every month. Now, the third most common myth or misconception is that you have to carry over debt or pay interest on your credit cards for it to have a positive effect on your score. This is not true whatsoever. You do not have to carry a balance over each month, and you do not have to be paying any interest on your card to have a positive credit score. Today, I want to be talking about how we can use our credit score to begin leveraging and building wealth for ourselves. So going back to the old ideology that I used to have that, debt is bad, but I didn't realize that there's really two types of debts. And while I'm not going to go into a lot of the specifics of good versus bad debts, just know that bad debt is going to be things that you purchase that take money out of your pocket. And then good debt will be debt that you go into that actually puts money into your pocket. So let me explain. I own a lot of rental properties, and a lot of times I'll take my credit and I will put a small down payment on a home and borrow the rest from the bank at a low interest rate. Let's just say 3 or 4%. What I'm able to do is take that money that I borrow at 3 or 4%, purchase a home that gets me 10%, and I'm able to profit off of the difference. So if I have a loan for 3% and I'm getting 10% of my money, I'm actually profiting 7% on my money. And this is why your credit score is going to be so important, because number one, it's going to help make sure that you qualify for the loan. And also, the lower the interest payments, the bigger the spread is going to be in terms of your cash flow and the terms of your ability to build wealth for yourself. Let's say that the first house you buy, you net $500 a month. If you could quickly buy just 10 properties and continue to net $500 a month for each property, well, now you're netting $5,000 a month. That's going to be an astronomical difference in your ability to build wealth for yourself. All right, well, that is it. Make sure you comment below. Like I said, if this video gave you some value, please hit the like button and the subscribe button channel as well. Also, be sure to hit that notification bell. That will give you more notifications and insights when I upload and post new videos on personal finance, entrepreneurship, investing, and financial freedom.